From staffing shortages because of the contagious Omicron variant to winter weather, airlines across the United States canceled thousands of flights over the past week. It's making for misery at airports, as you can imagine, and it's affecting dozens of Idahoans. Our Tristan Lewis spoke with Boiseans who traveled for the holidays. They're just trying to get home. Tristan, I cannot even begin to imagine how frustrated they must be knowing that their travel plans are completely upended. I'm curious, what airlines were they flying?
Yeah, a lot of those airlines that people hit hardest with were Alaska Airlines. That was one of the hardest hit airlines as snow and cold temperatures disrupt its hub in Seattle. It's safe to say getting the notification on your flight something has been canceled is something no one hopes for. But imagine the airline rebooks your flight 3 days from now, or they just tell you they don't know when they get you in the air. Well, that's what a few people have dealt with this week trying to get home.
We never even thought about it, because Alaska Airlines was never mentioned, so we didn't think we'd have a problem at all.
Paul J. Schneider and his wife spent Christmas visiting his daughter in Austin, Texas. The Boise couple got to the Lone Star State flying Alaska Airlines with no problems. Getting back to Idaho was a different story.
But we're looking forward to getting back to Boise when we got that dreaded text message in the middle of the night saying that our flight back to Boise had been canceled.
Not only was their flight canceled for Monday, the airline said they were not able to accommodate Schneider and his wife for the foreseeable future.
But luckily, our daughter lives down there, so we went and stayed with her overnight. But there's a lot of problems happen when your flight gets canceled.
Not getting many answers on when the next flight was available, Schneider's wife booked them new tickets with a different airline for Tuesday morning.
We were a day late and several dollars short. Very expensive when you have to get flights quickly.
Well, fortunately, some Boiseans have made it back to the Gem State after flight troubles. Some aren't so lucky after their holiday vacations.
We were supposed to fly out Tuesday at 9:30 p.m. It's the last flight out of Seattle to Boise for the night.
After taxiing around the runway for 3 hours, Delaney Hicks and the rest of her Alaska Airlines flight learned they would not be flying out that night for a number of reasons.
There was a bunch of planes waiting to be de-iced on the runway, and we were in line to do that, and then a plane was stuck getting de-iced, so we had to wait, and then the pilot on our plane was about to time out.
After getting off the plane, Hicks waited in line for 2 hours to rebook her flight home, which is now scheduled for Friday. She also says her airline was out of hotel vouchers, so many people had to stay at the airport overnight waiting for their next flight.
Obviously, it wasn't the airline staff's fault, and we were trying to be gracious to them, but it was definitely, everybody felt very frustrated and pretty angry.
While she got to spend a few more days with family, she's hoping her next flight will be able to take off this time.
Won't take anything too seriously until we're in the air, though.
And if one of those voices sounded familiar, Paul J., former voice of the Broncos. Delaney says one thing she's learned through all this is to have your items on your carry-on that can last you just a few days. With her flight troubles, she hasn't gotten her checked luggage back from the airport. Alaska Airlines told her it might be in Boise or it might be in Seattle. They don't know. So I reached out to Alaska Air for a statement on what's up with this. They write, our baggage service teams are working around the clock to reunite unclaimed bags with their owners. It will take several days to complete this work, but our agents will contact every guest to arrange for pickup or delivery. We deeply apologize for the inconvenience and are working hard to return to the level of service our guests know and expect from us while operating safely. And they say a lot of these things, of course, like you mentioned before, stuff to do with weather, stuff to do with the Omicron variant.
I feel like unless this happens to you, it's difficult to learn the lesson of bring your essentials with you when you fly, bring a change of clothes. This has personally happened to me before. So, it's good. It's a good learning lesson.
Exactly. It's one of those things where you don't really think it's going to happen to you until it happens to you.
Right. And now it's happening to so many other people. We got some other travel headaches that you guys sent in. One person said her husband and son had 4 flight delays. They traveled from 3 a.m. to 10 p.m. They did finally get back after United held their planes so they didn't miss their connection. She reminds us People do care, and they're working hard to help everyone reconnect after COVID craziness.
Yeah, and Sammy said, I was trapped in SeaTac for 6 days. So grateful to be back, and we are too. Like Delaney said, and like that message said, just got to be kind of patient with the crews too going through these next couple of days. I'm sure they're not super thrilled with the staffing shortages and the weather.
No, and it's crazy how one airport affects 20 other airports.
Cannot even imagine.
No. All right, Tristan, thank you so much.